ho, ho, ho! How often do you see 3 banana babies in one shot? Woo! And number 4 is over there. I tell you, they take so long to get ripe. It's like takes 4 months or something to get these bananas going, and then they're all going to come at the same time. We're going to have a banana party. Come on down to Costa Rica. It's Kai Pacha with the weekly Pele report, and today is Wednesday, January 6th. This is the first Pele report for 2021. Oh, por Dios. Yeah. So the third quarter square moon in Libra, just finished a few hours ago, and she's going to go on, and she's going to enter Scorpio tomorrow. This is, third quarter. She's ending, finishing, waning, getting smaller, going all the way back down to zero. By next Tuesday, we are going to have a new moon. So get ready for that. We are on the decrease at this particular time. That's kind of what that indicates. And in addition to that, then Mars goes into Taurus Eastern time. I'm thinking of Eastern time because they got the demonstrations and everything going on in Washington, D.C. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 tonight, Mars goes into Taurus, and pretty much is going to be conjunct Uranus. I mean, it's not really exact until next week, but Mars is cruising along, in Taurus, conjunct Uranus, squaring Jupiter and Saturn. Pretty much all this week, I will be talking about that. Right now, it's at the critical 29 degrees of Aries. It's called a critical degree. Yeah. And what else is going on? So yeah, tomorrow is pretty big. That Mars Uranus, the moon is moves into Scorpio, and we have a T-square. Moon opposite Mars Uranus squaring Jupiter Saturn. That's called a T-square. On Friday, Mercury goes into Aquarius, and Venus goes into Capricorn on the same day. So there's a shift on Friday, and I might talk about that a little bit. And as soon as Mercury goes in to Aquarius to join Saturn, it squares Mars, right? You got that whole thing going on. Mercury is exactly conjunct Saturn on Saturday, along with, and there's the nice part, Venus has gone into Capricorn, Earth, to trine Mars in earthy Taurus. We get a little bit of a nice romantic weekend there. The moon has moved into Sagittarius. And we then have a nice Venus trine Mars. Finally, next week rolls around, and Mercury squares Uranus next Tuesday. Venus squares Chiron next Tuesday. And by then, what? You got another Pele report coming. Ha ha, baby. Let me look at the screen and talk about it. All right, everybody. I'm a little laid back today, a little spaced out, a little, unmotivated, but I can look at the camera and talk for a little while, I guess. There's so much going on out there. It's like when I wake up, I kind of, start looking at what's going on out there, and it's, kind of takes me out of my personal inner journey and my personal evolution and my personal life and my personal relationships, because there's so much going on out there. Let's look at out there. Out there is Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Yeah, national, international, cosmic. The last 3 signs of the zodiac, where Venus is going to join, go into Capricorn. So we're going to have the sun, and then for the new moon, okay, the new moon coming up is like super freaking intense next week. Okay, the moon is going to be conjunct the sun and Pluto, and we're in kind of this is I feel like it's the final push. You know, if it's a birth, you know, it's like, okay, we're crowning, and the doctor, you know, or the midwife says, "Come on, give it that one big final push." We're in the one big final push, man. Moon going into Scorpio, right? Scorpio is birth and death, the end of the old. But anyway, like I was talking about, so we're going to have, you know, next week, by the time the moon gets into Capricorn, we're going to have the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. Okay, all in the last three, the last, it's called a quadrant, okay, the final quadrant of the zodiac. Look at the chart that I'm, you know, that is at the beginning of this report, and you'll see right now the moon moving through Libra into Scorpio is you know, coming up, and it's just below the horizon, okay, below that, you know, Aries through Libra. These are the personal inner subjective signs. Cancer, Leo being the most. Okay, Aries, Taurus, Gemini being more of the subconscious or the id, but it's very personal. And what do we have? Chiron in Aries, Mars going Aries, Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus. We have these three, you know, and it's very challenging. I've talked about this Chiron, you know, in Aries. I could do a whole video, maybe I should do a whole workshop on Chiron. The heroine's journey into our wound, into our pain. Close to 8 years in the sign of Aries. Collectively, we are all dealing with this wound. And this wound is one of that I don't get everything that I want. The Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want. And this is hard. This is hard. Aries is desire, it's want, it's go, charge. You know, if I want to go out, I'll go out. If I want to not wear a mask, I won't wear a mask. If I want to stay home, I do what I want. It is the impulse, the instinct to just be and do. Taurus is be, Aries is do. So Mars has been 6 months in Aries, wanting to go, charge, feeling our desires, and when we get locked down, when we get suppressed, when we have desires and we can't fulfill those desires, anger is the result. Anger is suppressed, you know, instincts, suppressed desires, blocked. So we've had that whole Pluto, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Capricorn blocking our willful go, charge, pioneer, start, begin. And this Chiron is this, you know, this wound, and we have ways of dealing with this wound. And the ways of dealing with that wound is to overcompensate, to fight back, rebel, and, you know, just like, you know, tear down who's ever trying to suppress or stop us, start wars. Mars in Aries starts wars. I mean, we want to be thankful that in the last 6 months, okay, we haven't gotten into a major conflict. But still, Mars is now, you know, going to conjunct Uranus, the planet of rebellion, and Saturn is square Uranus. That's the establishment, you know, is trying to suppress or block the, you know, the new rebellion. Uranus is the future. So it's even 2021 is full of this tension between the past and the future, between the establishment and the new, you know, whatevers, the new paradigm, baby. But in the meantime, all I can say is I don't care if it's the government, I don't care if it's the virus, I don't care if it's fires or hurricanes or floods or, you know, 5G or I don't care if it's your partner, your beloved. We are now all dealing with forces beyond our control. This is the underlying Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, our cosmic, universal, at least global corporations or governments or religions or weather or oil prices or it's amazing. That's what the mantra is about today. There is so much of life that we cannot control. It is humiliating. It is humbling. It is exasperating. It is irritating. It is frustrating. It is da 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 da. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. However, like I say in the mantra today, this can spur us on. Yeah? To understand more, to grow more, to evolve more, to pierce through the veil. If I'm not in control, who or what is really in control? You know, Freud would say it's my unconscious, right? Jung, could go on and say it's the collective unconscious. Religion could go on, it's Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, the 1,000 names of God. It's just like there is an intelligence. If we look back, hindsight is 2020. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I went through this and I met this person and I moved here and I changed that and da 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 da. And it's all brought me to where I am today. And there has been a flow, a destiny happening. And so, it's really aligning our conscious ego with our spiritual unconscious impulse to evolve. That is why I do astrology. That's why I do readings. That's what got me into astrology. When we align our conscious with our unconscious, it clears the way, it smooths the way, it removes this kind of frustration that life is going too fast or too slow, or I'm not getting this desire met, or I'm not advancing, or it's just like it's expanding our radar. This is a good time. Moon moving through Scorpio. Scorpio is the great mysteries of life and death. What's behind the door? What's behind the veil? What's behind the curtain? Why me? Why now? Why this? So we've got a couple of days here, this moon moving through Scorpio. Scorpio is also loss, letting go. And we're in this closing final phase of the moon. Let go, let go, let go. This is such a time of tapping into a greater flow of the river, not trying to fight and go upstream. The song for today is "The Times They Are A-Changin'" by Bob Dylan. One of my old favorites. I know I'm dating myself, but it is. The times they are a-changin'. And if we just kind of, hang on and hold tight, and really use this time, rather than getting caught up in the swirl and the whirlwind, come to the eye of the hurricane, where it is still, and find the deeper purpose, find the deeper meaning. And a lot of this now, moon and this third quarter squares in Libra, partnership and relationship. Moon going into Scorpio, sex, intimacy, emotional, intellectual union, resources, finances, money. Okay, this is about also, it's not just, the greater collective. Bring it home. Bring it into your own personal life of relationships. This is also now a time where we can really do therapy or do counseling or work with our partners, our intimate others, to see our shadows, to see how we've unconsciously sabotaged ourselves. And maybe we need to let go of this particular, ancient childhood trauma that is really, governing our negative attitude or our negative outlook, or our judging ourselves and other people, and getting all wound up, caught up, even getting sick as a result, of so much build up of pressure and tension. So there's a couple of things I really feel like, this Mars, moving out of Aries into Taurus after 6 months. Mars does rule anger, and, we're in this time period, like I said, for years. Jupiter is going to be a couple of years before it completes Pisces. Saturn will be like 5 years before it moves out of Pisces. We're really kind of in this closing phase, like I've spoken before, until 2025. I've said 2021 is the year of initiation, gestation in preparation for creative manifestation. And this gestation is a time of inner work and inner reflection and inner evolution and inner preparation. And we will emerge again, but we are being locked down. The universe, using the virus or the government or your partner or your not having no money or whatever, it's saying, go within, go within, and within, go up. I want to look at that new moon. Okay, I mean, really, it's not till next week, but I'm very excited about it. Okay, it is at 23 degrees 13 minutes of Capricorn, which is our Sabian symbol. The Sabian symbol says that it's at the 24th degree of Capricorn. You ready? Oh yeah, a woman entering a convent. A convent is a place made available by a community which believes in the possibility of reaching a world transcending state of consciousness. It is made available to individuals who may be variously motivated. To some, it is an escape from the intolerable pressures of family and society. To others, it represents the possibility of pursuing in peace a spiritual ideal to which the whole being aspires and is totally dedicated. Peace. At last. I just want to meditate. The important point, okay, is that it expresses another aspect of the relationship between the society, its religion and culture, and the individual. Yeah? So here society accepts the fact that beyond its daily normal patterns of behavior and commitments, another way of life exists, which in a higher sense also has social value. In the old Hindu society, dominated by a rigid caste system, the ideal embodied in the sannyasi, the wandering holy man or yogi, meditating in a forest or a cave, who had entirely given up all that caste implied, was seen as the very culmination of the social process. That may not be so much so today in the Western society. The path towards enlightenment or towards complete transcendence or awakening or liberation, leaving society, money, ambition, possessions behind. It's not really seen so much as the highest culmination of human evolution. Who cares? It still is. I've talked about the stages of evolution for, incarnating, in human form many times. I think it's, the handout is on my website or whatever, but it's like, we come in and we get involved and we raise our consciousness, we individualize, we give our special gift back, and then just like one of these flowers. The seed sprouts, grows, it gets bigger, stronger, it blooms, gives away its fragrance, gives away new seeds, and dies. Lets go of everything. This is Scorpio, moon moving through Scorpio, okay, and, closing in that balsamic phase. That is the time that we are in now. Ow! Yes, with so much of life out of control, I need to go beyond. Pierce the veil between the worlds and reconcile with the divine. There is a divine intelligence. It is subtle, magical, mystical, invisible. It's behind the veil of Maya. It's beyond the 5 physical senses. It requires that we open and that we sit in stillness and we really listen with all of our being to what the divine intelligence is asking of us. Not our neighbor, not the guy down the street, okay, not the guy in another country. Some of it is mind your own business. Some of it is, there is a social, revolution that will be occurring all through this year. And it's up to each and every single one of us to find out what our unique gift, what our special fragrance, is that we incarnated to offer. And for some it'll be physical, some it'll be, intellectual or financial or artistic or musical or creative or scientific or astrological or counseling and, medical. We all are so unique. There is not a one-size-fits-all. There is not the path, the one way. Come on, that's the South Node in Sag. South Node in Sag is the shadow of Sag that sits in judgment and says, my way is the way. It's like, it's BS, man. So, what's another one? Love the one you're with. We could do Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. It's like, come down, come in. Look at your relationships. Look at your integrity. Look at your personal, family world of, and you got plenty to do, plenty to work on, plenty to improve. Okay, and what is out of your control is out of your control, and it can be extremely draining. Yeah, and extremely exasperating to dispense too much time, energy, and attention towards conditions and situations beyond our control. So one more time. When so much of life is out of control, I need to go beyond, pierce the veil between the worlds, and reconcile with the divine. May you reconcile with the divine. Namaste, aloha, so much love.